Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today is Friday, which means it is Book Review Friday once again, and I am very excited to talk about today's book. So let's get started. The book is Eternal Youth by Alexander Williams. The author did reach out and offer to send me a free book in order to review it for you guys on my channel. But like always, just because I accepted a book does not mean that I won't give you my fully honest opinions. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you guys my honest thoughts on this book. But first, let's talk about the cover. You know, I love to talk about covers. It's just a fun thing for me to talk about. I think this cover is beautiful. I really like the gray and brown tones. It's dark, but it's not too overpowering, I guess. It's a very nice cover. I love the woman on the front with her eyes. It makes sense with the story, so if you do read the story, the cover will make a little more sense. And of course you got the creepy house at the bottom. I love a good creepy house in a scary story. And then you got some red thrown in there, but it's like actually an orangey red. It's not just a red, so very interesting. I really do like the cover. Let me give you guys a quick synopsis and then I will tell you guys my full thoughts on the book. Caroline is recovering from a mental breakdown and she is living in a hostel, and she's basically trying to avoid everyone else living in this hostel, and she's just trying to keep to herself and try to recover. She's been put on antidepressants and mood stabilizers to help with her nightmares, and they do make her feel foggy and not quite like herself, but she doesn't mind because of the fact that it gets rid of these nightmares for her. But then the drugs stop working. This is when you learn that Caroline has an ability, a special ability. She can see ghosts and she can actually see things when she touches a person. She can see aspects of their lives and kind of who they are, and sometimes she doesn't even need to touch a person to get these images to come to her. While Caroline is trying to sort herself out mentally, there is something out there worse than ghosts. There are things pretending to be human and they need to find victims to live off of, and they go by the names Rose and Charlie. They want girls who are sad, they want girls who are lonely, they want girls who give off despair, and they want girls who won't be missed. They want to drain their life and use it to keep themselves from getting older. Luckily for them, there are 3 women that are very easy targets. Lucy is a teen and her mom are having problems because her mom doesn't like her new friend Maxine. Lucy's mom thinks that because Maxine is from the wrong side of town, that she is a bad influence and that she is going to lead Lucy down a bad path. When in fact, Maxine is actually a really good kid and she's being judged for basically her parents and nothing that she has control over because she's a child. Lucy begins acting out, which puts a big strain on her and her parents' relationship. Then you have Emily, who is stuck with an alcoholic, abusive mother who won't let her leave the house unless it's to go to work. And then you have Dana, who just left an abusive relationship and she uses drugs, alcohol, and men to ignore her problems. When Caroline starts having dreams involving these 3 women, she really has no idea what kind of danger they actually are in. With the help of Paul, who is an older man in a mental facility, she has to figure out a way to stop these beings from hurting any more women. That's going to do it for the synopsis, so let me give you guys a rundown of exactly what I thought of this book. Honestly, I thought the plot was amazing. I think it's sad, it's thrilling, it's suspenseful, it's very captivating, it's very unique. I really love the plot of this story. I think it's really good. It's told in alternating perspectives between the female characters. It was a little confusing at first to keep track of the characters, but once you start to get to know them and really learn about the women, it becomes way easier to keep track of who's talking and what's going on. The characters are very dynamic and their backstories are very emotional and raw, and it really helps you connect to the women and really want the best outcome possible for each of them. My favorite characters in the book were Caroline, Lucy, Maxine, and Paul. I just loved their characters. I loved their stories. I loved how each of them played a part in the story. I just really thought each of them added a lot to the story, and I really enjoyed them being in the story. My least favorite characters were Lucy's mom. I thought she was a horrible, horrible character. I could not believe some of the things that happened with Lucy and her mom. It's really sad and really upsetting, and I just did not like her mom in the slightest. And then for obvious reasons, I don't like Charlie and Rose because they are the main bad guys in the story, and they are really, really not nice at all. I really, really loved the incorporation of mental health into the story. I think it makes it much more realistic, and it just adds a level of depth to the characters. I think mental health is something that a lot of people understand and struggle with, and they can relate to that. So reading characters that you might have a slight connection with or something in common with, I think it's easier then to connect with them, and then it makes it easier to really put yourself into the book. I also love that the beings fed off of sadness and despair. I think that's very scary, and I think a lot of people struggle with those feelings, and it's just, again, very realistic to have those emotions be a part of the story, and to have a evil being chase these people because of these feelings is just very scary in my opinion. I can't imagine if Charlie and Rose were chasing me because I gave off loneliness and despair. That would be terrifying. So I think because a lot of people feel these same emotions, that it's kind of scary, because this could be you if this was a real thing happening in the world. I was hooked from the beginning. I could not put this book down. I had to know what was going to happen. The very first chapter really just pulled me in, and I had to know about all the women. I really enjoyed learning about the women and hearing their stories, and it just made the book that much more captivating to me, is the women and their stories. And so I really liked this book. The ending was so satisfying. As someone who loves a happy ending in horror, and I got one, and I was so happy. Don't get me wrong, the book is sad, so there is sadness in there, but to have a happy ending was so nice and so good. I was just so happy to have one. The book makes you feel all kinds of emotions: anger, fear, sadness, happiness. All those emotions are inside of this book, and you feel every single one while you're reading, and that's crazy to have a book do that to you. I honestly think this book would be a great film. I would love to see this adapted into a movie. I think it would do really well going from book to movie. I think a lot of people would like this kind of story, and I think watching it would be just as fun as reading about it. So I would really like to see this made into a movie. I think it would be really, really cool. I honestly think this book is so good. It's such a captivating book. It's so interesting. It's so gripping, and I enjoyed every second of it, and I am so happy that I got to read it. So thank you to Alexander Williams for sending me this book. I'm so happy I got the chance to read it and review it for you guys on my channel. It's amazing. I can't wait to see what else you come out with. I just think this is such a great book, and I highly recommend checking it out. I will leave a link in the description box so you can check it out if you want to. But yeah, I highly recommend this book to everyone. I think it's really good. Okay guys, and with that being said, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we can become friends and talk about makeup and horror and books and all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.